Hello, and welcome to CHUB Cast, where we review 2 albums an episode spanning across a multitude of genres. With your hosts,
My name is Zach Smith, and I'm the bassist.
And I'm Ben, and I'm the vocalist.
The one who plays the guitar is me, Greg.
I'm Kyle, and I hit stuff with sticks.
all the way from Brighton, UK, combined, we make up the band CHUB. I hope you enjoy the podcast.
Dear viewer, welcome back to another episode of CHUB Cast. Before we get into the reviews, please give us a like, a follow, a share, a subscribe. The other ones, anything you can do. Favorite website, fucking send a dick pic to CHUB the band at whatever it is.
gmail.com.
Yeah. And on top of all of that, do get at us at CHUB the Band on all the major social media platforms. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other podcast platforms that I've forgotten the name of.
Yep.
But most importantly, if you want to get involved with the show, go down to those YouTube comments after you've done all the other things. Leave a review for the albums for next week that we're going to announce at the end of the show, and we will read it out in next week's show. You can be part of the crew, and make sure you have a chub while you're doing it.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yep, definitely. Follow all those social medias for inactivity.
We're recently back in the studio. We've been posting pics. We've been recording stuff. So yeah.
At some point, we will produce music because we are a band.
A band. Yep.
Of brothers.
Yeah.
I play bass.
We're one of those postmodern bands. We don't do music. We just do podcasts.
Yeah.
We just tell people we're a band, but don't actually create music.
Yeah. Wait, I thought
We're gonna
this
make
is
shirts
being a band, right? This is what people in bands do, right?
No, we need a TikTok. Oh no. No. That's how you make a band.
I mean,
We're a band.
I'm not getting
songs.
TikTok. Have you seen TikTok? It's full of fucking
Children.
fuckboys and paedophiles.
They do gravitate towards each other.
Yeah.
Bit of a cesspit.
Yeah. Anyway, this week we are reviewing albums which were chosen by Ben. Introduce yours.
Yeah.
Ooh, I picked the third album by. Was it third?
Second.
Yes.
Cole?
It's third album.
Fuck! It was. It was.
third
Wait, what?
No, wait.
It was the
No,
third.
we
Yeah.
said second. Yep.
We said. Anyway, the album "Favorite Worst Nightmare" by Arctic Monkeys.
Hey, nailed it.
Yeah.
And
Nailed it first time.
the-
It was
Oh,
me.
right.
I picked this one. And it's Sarah Vaughan's second album called Sarah Vaughan, just like her first album, Sarah Vaughan. But not that one, the second one called Sarah Vaughan.
Ah.
A classic of jazz, a mainstay, involving
Is it?
trumpeter.
Sorry.
I can't remember.
Continue.
Involving trumpeter Clifford Brown.
Ooh,
Oh.
there you go.
Well.
But pardon me. Which one are we going to listen to? Well, talk about first.
Ben's.
Yeah, Ben's.
All right.
Okay.
No dead air on this podcast. We're going straight in. Fuck questions.
That's
Let's
like
command. We're commanding here.
Go ahead.
Go on,
introduce
Ben.
that shipment.
Command me. Command me, Daddy.
Come on,
Okay,
be
so,
the thawed out monkeys after this.
The second studio album, Favorite Worst Nightmare by Arctic Monkeys, is probably considered their best album to this day, even still. Maybe shortly behind the one that has Do I Wanna Know? I can't remember
yeah.
the album's name.
I only ever remember that one song as well. Yeah.
There you go.
Must have
So,
been a good
Yeah.
album.
Why'd you
So-
only call me when your high is good as well?
That
yeah,
is good.
there's a lot of good songs. Maybe that could be a future thing in the future. So anyway, with this album, it's well, I mean, it's is there to say apart from it's amazing?
No, it's 0 out of 10.
Oh, well. Go on, Ben. Who's going first?
Choose your victim.
Greg.
Oh, okay. So, you're right. It's amazing. Next.
I thought it was amazing too. Kyle?
It was pretty good.
Alright.
Sweet. On to
10 out of
There you
10.
go.
Right. Sarah Vaughan.
Yeah.
She is autistic.
No, I've got things to
I
say.
thought you were about to say that she's autistic.
That's what you said.
Sarah Vaughan,
No,
she's
she's
autistic.
artistic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
autistic.
Yeah.
They're one and the same now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Uh,
Arctic Monkeys. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I'd listened to a few songs off this album before. I knew obviously they're highly acclaimed. They're probably one of the most sort of, I don't want to use overplayed in a negative sense of the term, but one of the most ubiquitous English bands that everybody knows.
No, ubiquitous. Whatever. What does that mean, Greg? For all those
They're
retards
everywhere.
at home, I know what it means.
it means they're everywhere. They're universal.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd never listened to this whole album before, and I was really surprised. The thing that I didn't know about them and that I most enjoyed on this album probably was the poetry of just his lyrics. That was probably the most enjoyable part of it for me. I've got
Oh
good
my
things to
God,
say
yeah.
about the music as well, but I had a friend at uni who was a massive fan. He was always like, Alex Turner's a fucking genius, and I just ignored him. But it turns out he was right. He is.
Just like completely ignored him. You're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, shout out David. You were right.
That's such a Greg thing to say. I didn't even figure that at all, and then you're in here like, oh, it's very poetic. I like the pretty words.
Well, that was honestly what I enjoyed most about the album. Obviously, the music's great, but no, I thought he was an excellent lyricist, and that was my main
I agree.
takeaway from it.
I agree. I wish I could. Did you write any down, Greg? Because I
did
remember a
write
couple
down-
that stood out, and I was like, that's a good line.
I wrote down my one favorite lyric. Yeah,
What is
do
it?
you want to hear it?
Yeah.
It was from. It was in "Do Me a Favor," and do me a favor and ask if you need some help. Oh wait, sorry, punctuation's fucking me up. Do me a favor and ask if you need some help, she said. Do me a favor and stop flattering yourself. And to tear apart the ties that bind, perhaps fuck off might be too kind.
Damn.
Perhaps
that was-
fuck off might be too.
Beautiful.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
good.
They've got some really good.
Really,
lines.
really good.
My favorite line.
That
of theirs-
last chorus really touches me.
Yeah.
Touches me.
Yeah. This album's only
me,
born
like-
in 2007, Ben. Come on, man. You can't be touching fucking 12-year-olds or whatever.
No, the album was The Aggressive.
The album was
Yeah,
aggressive.
that's me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just,
Uh,
I'm not a paedophile. They just fancy me.
I'm like, get away, stop touching me.
don't stand so close to me.
Alex Turner, no!
Anyway, one of my favorite lines in any song ever is the end of Teddy Picker, where he just goes, "Assuming that all things are equal, who'd want to be man of the people when there's people like you?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the
Yeah.
line that stood out for me too. I really like that one.
Yeah, it's so good. That whole song is banging, but yeah, that ending lyric is like, "Oof, let's go."
So many fucking mic drop lines on this. Oh, you can't say it. Mic drop lines.
So
This album.
many.
Oh yeah. Anything else, Greg?
So many.
Lots, but I'll say that for now.
Cool.
I pick you, Zach.
Me? Shit. Okay. So I
Nice.
I've obviously heard of Arctic Monkeys. I've never actually listened to them. Whenever they're played on around me, I always enjoy it. It's kind of hard to dislike them. They're really safe. Like, they're ridiculously safe to the point where even Alex likes them. And Alex hates.
Yeah.
I think he hates the sound of the electric guitar or something, but even he likes them. So that's got to say something to what they've done. They're obviously. I think me and Greg were cheating, and we spoke about it in the car a bit. And Greg said something about you can see their influences in other bands that you listen to, and I can see them in like the Vaccines, or
Oh,
even Raw Republic. with a lot of Royal Republic songs have a very clean bass line. That obviously Arctic Monkeys are like. I feel like Arctic Monkeys are kind of known for it. Would I be right in saying that? Because whenever I hear a Arctic Monkeys song, the bass line is always like, the meat.
Slap, dude.
The bass
it
is super
slaps
prominent
every
in
single time.
Yeah, you can hear it so clearly on everything. Like.
Yeah.
It was a new bassist for this album, I believe, from the previous one. I don't know if he's the one that they've got now.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a fresh bassist on this album. But
Fair enough. Well, he did a great job.
You can bloody hear it, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the last
Just like, I'm
bassist
joining
didn't
the
have a
band.
bass. Yeah, so my dad recently gave me his like old sound system because he upgraded. So I'm as always very lucky to have a dad that just buys gadgets all the time and gives me his hand-me-downs. And he, that bass through this subwoofer, it was awesome. Yeah, I just can't. I really enjoyed the bass. However, like the whole album, as in entirety. I first listened to the album in the car on the way home from Cornwall, and the first 4 or 5 songs were bops, and I was really enjoying it. And I don't know if it's because I ended up having to focus on the road a bit more, but the latter half of the album was kind of a bit of a blur, apart from bad parts that I didn't like. So my thinking was, hang on, I don't like this part, it's kind of grueling. But are the parts that I am not paying attention to, is that just because I like it? So I'm not thinking that? Because you never think I really like this. Usually you think, I don't like this. That's how the brain goes. So I gave it another listen today, and there's some weak songs in my opinion. It's the slower ones, as always, get me. But overall it was I'd say about 2/3 of the album is solid. Personally. Yeah. I have a few more things to say, but go Kyle. Go. Mush.
Yeah, I've been a big Arctic Monkeys fan since way back in the day, since they were literally everywhere, when they were just on TV constantly and stuff. I thought my favourite one prior to giving this a proper listen was their first album, whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. But I've always really liked Arctic Monkeys because, their drummer's fucking sick as well. Their bassist's really good, but the drummer's, he goes apeshit on a lot of these songs, like Brian Storm,
fucking drummers, man. Always listening to the drums.
Who does that, man?
Who knew?
You.
He has a cowbell break in Balaclava. I was like,
mate, we need to get a cowbell. We
Oh,
need to get a fucking
yeah.
cowbell.
Where it's just
we've got that fever.
Kyle, please buy a cowbell.
I will do. They're really cheap as well.
Do it, man. It's going to be so good.
I need to get a new drum kit before I get a cowbell.
Priorities. That's
The whole
like
cowbell.
saying, that's like saying I need to buy a new fridge before I buy dinner.
It's true. You need to eat, Kyle. You need to eat that cowbell.
I've got a fever.
Do you guys remember Harry Hill's horn organ, where he had horns, car horns with all the different pitches? You need that little cowbell, loads of them.
I don't remember that, but I remember Bill Bailey doing it.
Bill Bailey's in it.
Yeah, he did it as well.
He did Enter Sandman or
Yeah, he did a few.
I saw that live at Sonosphere. That was amazing.
I always knew that I really liked a few songs on this, like Brian Storm, Teddy Picker, or Jello Bricks. I always really liked. But then, proper listening to it, Tears for Dangerous might be my favorite Arctic Monkeys song now. Balaclava's really good as well. Fluorescent Adolescence, a fun song. But yeah, I agree with Zach. There's a few weak songs on here, This House is a Circus and If You Were There, Beware is kind of meh. On the Bad Thing is kind of meh. But then it picks up again with Old Jello Bricks and 505. I think 505's an amazing song. Super emotional belter. And if you watch the music videos, it's just really nice because, especially for Teddy Picker, they are so young in that video, and they actually, the music video is semi-live as well. They've got different vocals and stuff on it.
Slightly different, yeah. It's slightly different from the album recording.
Yeah, it's just really cool to see how they've grown. Because now, if you look at Alex Turner, he looks like a complete rock and roll dickhead. But then, you look at them back then, they had Beatles side hair swish haircuts and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Intense shame will do that to you.
But But yeah, no, it's not much to say about. I mean, yeah, like I think Arctic Monkeys are. I would say they're probably the single biggest band out of rock band out of England in our lifetime. Like,
Apparently,
mean,
that
like
debut
Beatles.
album was the biggest debut album of all time when it came
I
out.
mean, modern one
In
of
our
our
lifetime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I
modern
mean, Chub.
Yeah,
Arctic Monkeys, Mr. Turner, we're coming for you. You fucking.
with my amazing lyrics, such as
Fuck Winnie the
My
Pooh.
love for you will never end. It stretches to Venus and back again. And
Hey,
Winnie
man,
the Pooh.
you wrote that when you were like 17. Stop looking back, Ben.
That's true.
Your lyrics you write now are amazing.
That's true.
My dad wrote those lyrics when he was like
That's true,
30
actually.
and
Yeah.
never stopped singing them for the rest of my life.
Yeah, credit.
Oh,
credit where the credit's due.
We're gonna put my dad in the liner notes or something. Like...
We're gonna have to pay him royalties.
We'll credit him.
Can the EP? Can the single cover just be your dad's balls stretching out?
No, I'm gonna veto that.
Yeah. Oh. Right.
Or
Nah,
I
3v1,
thought
man.
it was a
Come on.
good idea. Yeah, 3v1. This is a democracy.
Photoshop that shit, like on a picture of the solar system.
Yeah. It's just got Earth there and a huge testicle and Venus.
It's just like tiny body, huge head, Gav. Like,
Oh, that'd be amazing. You know, Gav would want to see that.
Oh yeah, he'd love it.
Next time you're at home, Kyle, take a picture of him stretching his balls out, and I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I'll just ask him, hey dad, I need something from you.
Yeah.
He's
he'll
coming
be
to help us
"What's
move on
that,
the
son?"
2nd of September. I'll just be like, hey dad, can you get your dick out, please?
Yeah. Do it.
you know who'll do it.
would.
though. He
He would
wouldn't
do
even
it.
No,
ask
he would
twice.
not. He would not. Come on.
That's
I
not
mean,
That bad.
say it was for the gram.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I've got bitches to get likes from, you know.
You're like, I'm being a good dad right now, helping my son.
Ben.
Sure.
Ben, y'all got anything to say about this album?
Yeah, so
No?
It's amazing.
It's
it's amazing. That's
Anyway,
it. Next one.
Sarah
10
Vaughan.
out of 10. The artist. So before, unlike Kyle, I actually really didn't like Arctic Monkeys from their first album. I thought their first album back in the day when I was young and naive and didn't give it a full listen was really bad because I really didn't like the singer's voice at the time. It was one of those voices that like I was just like, northern, like why would someone listen to that? Obviously, this is like 12 to 13-year-old me, so
Fucking
and then
racist.
I kind of like
Yeah, you're still
There's a-
responsible now. Apologise
There are
to the North.
Yeah.
yeah, for my prepubescent comments.
Yeah.
And then when they released their second album, a lot of people in school would play it like around college time, and I'd be like, okay, well, I can't really stop them. And the more and more I listened to it, I was like when the songs like Brian Storm and
Brian
like
Storm.
the day. That's what it's called, isn't it? It's called
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I heard
Brian
brainstorm.
Storm, not Brain.
I remember in school correcting people like, oh, obviously it's called Brainstorm, and they're like, no, bro, it's called Brian.
No, it's called Brian Storm.
And you're like you're such a Neanderthal.
Yeah, now I'm just
Can't
like,
even spell.
You should have used your Brian, man.
Mm.
I used to have a doll
You
called
need to use
Brian.
Brian more.
I had a Willy.
Were you
Cool.
showing it to a judge?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Was it anatomical?
I had a no. It was a doll. It was a normal doll, and it had a willy and a bum. And I used
That's
to
not
play
normal.
with it because apparently I'm gay. And
That's not,
Doll?
that's not a
Willow.
normal doll.
what?
I'm pretty sure that's not okay. Action Man
What?
didn't have a fucking willy.
Action Man isn't fucking real, man. This doll is. And I gave it to Willow, and I was like, there you go, Willow. You're a baby. You enjoy my doll. I was like passing down my toys. And the next thing I knew, she ripped his arms and legs off. And I was like, well, I can see
At
where
least you left
Willow's
the poor guy's dick
personality is
behind.
going.
Yep.
God damn it. Nah, mate. Google it. Some dolls have penises.
I think when you said dolls, you mean like the actual like little baby dolls, the ones that you put in like prams and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you said that at first,
Yeah, Kyle,
thought
you've
you
seen
meant-
it.
Yeah, because we put the penis in Leroy's face when he passed out at your party.
And it didn't have any legs then.
Yeah, because Sean ripped its arms and legs off.
Yeah,
Oh, they got ripped off a
Kyle.
second time.
I mean, they
they're
come
like, you
off
put them
like.
back on.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Kyle's
Why
seen
the
it.
toy
Kyle knows I'm
manufacturer
not crazy.
Fuck's sake.
Why the toy manufacturer decided that this baby needs rip-offable arms and legs is beyond me. But anyway, should we try and get back on track, boys?
Anyway, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember how we got
were
onto this
talking
now.
about an album.
Anyway, Brian Storm. No, it's because my doll was called Brian.
Brainstorm, that was why.
Oh yeah, there you go. So, like long story short, we listened to it in the common room at college, and I really got into it then. And like, I had really fond memories of things like "Fluorescent Adolescent," which back then obviously was like a good song, and we were listening to it. But now it's even more important because it's like reminds me of my adolescence when I was actually listening to that song, and it's like really like sort of dreamy and like like all the lyrics. I'm just like, oh
Yeah,
It's
the
so
song
good.
is really just about like missing your teenage years and like growing up and stuff.
reaching
isn't it?
your teenage
Yeah.
years.
It's
Yeah,
literally.
it's
I think I read online that Alex Turner and his girlfriend at the time were in a hotel room just shouting random lines at each other, and that's how they end up writing the song. Because they were like,
Really?
"Oh, just think of something like that would make sense," and they're just shouting lines back at each other until eventually he was like, "We've got enough good lines now." So, yeah.
Maybe you can do that on your date, Ben.
well, I'm just gonna scream
You
random
can write a song together.
random phrases and write a song together. That's not a bad idea. I'm just be like, it would probably just be really stupid though. I'd be like, Bums and Willie makes me silly.
If that's the song you want to write, I'm all for it.
Maybe this is like second date material.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, could do. It
Tell-
might be like progressively like a date goes. Obviously, you'll be drinking throughout, so like maybe the first few paragraphs are going to be really like deep, and then it will just get stupider as the night goes on.
Just tell her you're going to be the next Alex Turner, and that'll be it. She'll sign on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, can't you tell? Obviously.
I'm going to be the Southern Alex Turner.
Yeah. So better. Ooh. Anyway.
I would argue
feel like-
worse. Southern,
yeah, I feel
Southern
like
people are horrible.
I don't know, have you been to the north?
Yeah, I have.
Would
Everyone up
Arctic
north
Monkeys
is so
be-
fun and lovely.
Ugh.
Would Arctic Monkeys be as popular if he didn't say "last laugh" instead of "laugh"?
That's true.
You know,
Absolutely
true.
not.
I mean, that's how the Beatles got big, so.
I guess.
We don't have a chance, boys. Band cancel.
Fuck.
Ben
I
put
know
on
a
an
few
accent.
scousers.
You're
Let's
gonna
get
have
rid
to
of
put
Ben.
on Anyway, album's good. Pretty much, basically just gonna repeat everything the guys said. The bass lines absolutely slap in like most to all songs. I agree with Zach to an extent with the album after Fluorescent Adolescent. It does slow down a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the songs like Only Ones Who Know and This House is a Circus, and I'm not a big fan of Old Yellow Bricks because they are quite like the more slower side of the album. Then there are a few that kind of like, it's a bit of a roller coaster because obviously there's like If You Were There Beware and The Bad Thing, like a little bit more like, hey, we've still got the energy from the first half. So what are you gonna say, Greg?
Well, I have a comparison that I want to put to you because while I was listening to these guys, I was thinking this album is exactly what I wanted from the Fontaine's DC album that we listened to, and I was wondering what you would make of that comparison because those slow songs, like I said, I enjoyed it a lot more for the poetry, and those slow songs were more like that album in a way. So they were almost, some of them were my favorite. Like I really liked If You Were There Beware and The Bad Thing. And some of the later half of the album songs. So I wanted to, put that comparison to you.
Yeah, so I'd say in that respect, my poetic and like appreciative side really does like it, especially like 505 because it has that good balance of like it's really like great lyrics like in my imagination you're waiting lying on your side with your hands between your thighs and a smile. Like it's just like really like oh, and then it obviously has like that crescendo at the end where he's like I crumble completely when you cry, and
Oh
like it all
yeah,
comes in right at the end and I'm just like oh,
it's such
and
a
that's
good way to
really,
end the
really
album.
yeah, it was a great ending. So from that angle I agree with you, but also my ADD brain that can't like pay attention for more than 5 minutes when a song's really slow is like struggles a little bit.
God, you must
I'm
have
with
hated
you
Sarah
there.
Vaughan.
Oh my god! Don't. That's no spoilers or anything. But
Spoilers! I can see it in your fucking eyes. Put your Shino glasses on.
yeah, it's like, no one can see anything.
The thing is,
Hell
like,
yeah.
your
Commands
ADD
the
brain
bugs.
must be
Wait,
super
hang
ADD because like none of these songs are longer than like 3 minutes.
Huh?
Oh.
Every song on this album is like 3 minutes long. Like, the whole album's like 38.
No, that's why I love this album because it doesn't need to be any longer than it is. Like
Yeah.
all the like punchy, fast, good songs are amazing, and they're like perfectly timed. Like I like any longer or anything, they probably wouldn't do them justice.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not like I dislike the slower ones. It's just like compared to songs like especially like literally the first 5 songs of the album are the best part of the album for me because every single song slaps hard,
Yeah.
and then it tapers off a little bit, and then it comes back, then I'm off, and then the ending is great. So it is a bit of a roller coaster for me, but yeah, still incredible.
Was one of the songs I remember is from the In-Betweeners? No, not from the In-Betweeners. It was in the In-Betweeners. Then you notice that? It's like dun 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 dun. Oh, I'm so out of tone here. Dun dun dun
It's
dun dun.
That's Fluorescent Adolescent.
Yeah, that's in.
Fluorescent
Oh well, that
Adolescent,
makes
yeah,
sense
yeah.
actually. To have that song in
Yeah,
there.
it's
That song
Yeah.
is
very much
definitely.
about
Yeah.
In Between Us.
I can very much picture Will from In Between. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like a transition song, and that
Yeah.
song just reminded me of the In-Betweeners, and like anything that reminds me of the In-Betweeners is good in my books because that show is just perfection.
That's why it reminded me again, like so much of school, because you know, when we were at school, like or college or whatever, that's when we were watching things like In Between Us when it was coming out, and like that was the music of the time, and yeah, it was kind of our generation's sort of like school / college music. It's just really nice, really nice.
I wish I had some like nostalgia towards like indie music and this kind of stuff. My nostalgia is AC/DC and no, actually my nostalgia is like Green Day, MCR, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
You said I remember a little while ago you saying that you wanted to get into more like indie stuff to expand your
yeah, because I
repertoire, and
really like
this
the
could be an album.
Vaccines. Vaccines are probably in the top
Yeah,
15 bands for me, I'd say, which means they're between 15 and 10. But like, so, so yeah, I'd love to. And I mean, these guys like tickle that itch.
That itch.
Tickle my
Tickle
balls.
that bum.
Yeah, Greg, you were gonna say something.
they tickle my job.
tickling an itch sounds really annoying. If you've got an itch and someone's just like, "What's that?"
Yeah, fuck.
Scratch it.
Cunts.
It's like that's what people say to with eczema. They're like, just rub it, and you're like, it's not the fucking same when you do it.
The advice I got for tattoos was like, no, just tap it.
Oh,
Does not help. Makes you look like a heroin addict.
It does not help. Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to say something. Yeah. All this talk of youth. One of my notes was if you were going to identify like a theme for this album, my notes were reckless youth, bad habits, and like consequence-free fun. I think if you were to, well, when I tried to distill the message, the meaning, the whatever of this album, that's the main thing that I got from it was like it's a fucking album for young fun, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it because I'm the same as Zach. I didn't have any nostalgia for it because I didn't listen to it when I was young, but I still got that from it even now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much like a coming of age album. Like, I mean, it's got some stuff about like
I'm
just
still
just
coming of
learning
age.
experiences as well. Yeah, we were
Aren't we all?
still in that awkward phase. Till we're
12
30.
to 29.
29.
I love that line.
Yeah,
But,
But,
sorry, I cut you. I cut you.
that's fine.
You cut him.
I'll fucking cut you, bro.
Show us on the doll with the pig.
It's like some songs like the bad thing. It's about like cheating and learning about how shitty that feels as a young adult and stuff. And Old Yellow Brick,
Yeah.
it's a song about yearning to get out of the town you were born in and finding it's not actually as great as you thought, and that there's no place like home. Dorothy was right, though. You know.
Yeah,
And,
I think that line
Was
out
that a
as well.
reference? What was that a reference to?
Wizard of Oz.
It was
I
the
thought
Voz, there's
so.
no place like
I
home.
thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
Google it as well.
Yeah. I like that line too.
Yeah.
Noah said, "Who wants to sleep in a city that never wakes up?" But Dorothy was right.
Yeah.
There.
Blinded by nostalgia. Yeah, he's got some great lines. The way he delivers them as well, like just the for some reason the way he goes though, it's like he just says it in such a weird way, but it just makes it so more endearing. Like it's just little things like that. I think my keenest memory of this album is it wasn't even this album of Arctic Monkeys, was when we used to go camping up the downs all the time, and we'd get very messy on illicit substances. And I remember sitting there with
We
Millie
went up there
Coleman,
and
who
just did coffee.
Yeah, cough, lots of
snorted
coffee.
some caffeine.
Yeah.
We didn't snort anything. We just
I was
drinking
sitting there
coffee.
We were drinking some
caffeine.
lattes.
I was sitting there with
doing
Millie Coleman, and we were listening to Mardy Bum. And and like I'd barely spoken to her at the time, but we were both just sitting there belting, "No, bomb!" Like just like absolutely trashed. And that's like still a fond memory. And I saw her recently, and I told her I remember that, and she's like, "Yeah, I remember. That's good."
Aw.
So just cute little things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben, go for it.
I was gonna say, like, going on what Greg was saying, like looking at the set list and everything. Most of the songs and the theme, the whole album, which goes along with the whole like adolescent kind of like teenage / like 20s experience, is risk taking. It's all about like taking risks and doing stupid stuff. You know, D is for Dangerous, Balaclava. You know, the bad thing, and If You Were There, Beware. You know, they're all themes wrapped around like doing stupid shit, learning from stupid shit, or just doing it because it's fun because you're a reckless teenager and stuff like that. And I think, what are you gonna say?
Oh, it's just flooding back memories of me being a fucking retard. I was such a
Memories. I love
dumb
those memories.
teenager.
You
Oh,
love
yeah.
those memories.
You'll never get to
I
be
do.
that dumb again. Enjoy
do.
them.
Until I broke my leg. Anyway, continue.
So yeah,
That's the
so I
epitome of dumb teenager for Zach.
Yeah.
Still got a good
feel-
story out of it.
Yeah,
feel like the last thing I want to
One
add.
I
with
don't like
the-
remembering. Anyway, bring it on, Ben.
The last thing I was just going to say really quickly is that on the topic of his voice, I don't know if this is like, if you guys feel the same, but I feel like it was a similar sort of thing with Fontaine's DC when we were talking about like how he was delivering his vocals, and it's because like that kind of like Irish Dublin sounded quite like working class, so like the cadence of his voice went really well with the music because it was like almost thematic. I feel like it's the same in this case because it's like that kind of thick northern accent.
It's like
And it's just
specifically Mank, isn't it?
It's specifically Mank. Yeah, like I feel like that kind of complements like a lot of the themes about being reckless, about being a teenager and stuff as well. Like that kind of like working class lad getting about and smashing.
I agree.
So-
Yeah, it came across very authentic because he wasn't
Yeah.
putting on an Americanized singing voice. He was like doing it.
Imagine like a posh person like singing all these same things. It would come across as so like
Yeah,
disingenuous.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, you'd be like, "What?"
Just some guy from Henley Regretta, just like fucking. Oh, I wish I could just recite some of their lyrics. But oh, yes, quite right. Going out with the lads, having some titties.
It is so delightful and trying to keep your trousers on.
D is for I have Down syndrome. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, I guess I'll pop it off with ratings.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
start.
rate this album. I mean, I would pick all my favorite songs, but it's basically the entire album, aside from maybe two. So I'm giving this one think a 9 out of 10.
Oh,
I
I
would
wouldn't
give
give
it
it
a 10
that.
out of 10. But the
I don't know,
oh, I
Ben.
don't know about
Oh, I don't know, Ben. No, I'm joking.
that. But yeah, like just because it falls flat a few times, even though lyrically and stuff it's really good. The rest of it is just gold, and this is like one of my favorite albums of all time. So
I wouldn't even say it falls flat. I'd say it just trips and
yeah,
manages to
yeah,
keep its footing.
It stumbles.
Yeah.
stumbles slightly, but
Yeah.
all in all, still really good.
Ben, who go first?
Pick
Me?
someone.
You?
Zach,
Yeah?
you spoke first.
Yeah, what do you want, Ben?
Read it, bitch.
So, my main issue with this album and the Arctic Monkeys in general, I guess, is my favorite genre of all time is hard rock. So I had this kind of the same issue with this as I did with Unleash the Archers, where I already loved like other shit from the same genre, and I find like bands like Airborne and AC/DC and Greta and Zepp, like they just seem to have a bit more. I don't know. I just love guitar solos and fast, and like the squeaky vocalists more than the not squeaky ones. But like having said that, farts, yeah, dude, I got farts on the mind.
Guitar solos and fart.
I mean, isn't that what Chub's all about?
Basically, I'm gonna be gassing off on the stage.
And guitar
So-
solos.
I'm gonna.
We've only got one.
I'm probably just gonna give it a 5 personally, just because in my opinion the only songs that I put in my bangers, I haven't put them on yet, I'm going to, are the first 5 songs. Everything else I was just kind of glazing over a bit, and that's probably just because I don't know, I have fucking ADD or something, I don't know, but yeah, 5.
Nice.
Greg.
Woo! Alright, yeah, I like this album on every level. I liked it from a poetic standpoint, from a musical standpoint. I thought it had good themes. I really, really liked it. And the songs that weren't bangers were still appreciable from a lyrical point of view. I really got on with it much better than I expected. I focused more on the writing than the instrumentation and what I was saying before, but the instruments were really cool as well. I thought the bass and the guitar complemented each other really well. The drums were awesome. Yeah, I really can't fault it very much. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
I wouldn't give it that.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's a bit high.
8.9. 8.9. I take it back.
I feel bad for my rating
Sorry.
now.
No pressure.
That's right. So yeah,
Alright.
for me, like, I think yeah, really, it's like all the songs are the perfect length and really like smash them out and make you want more. Like, it's a very real album, like a really genuine album. Like as you were saying, like he doesn't change his voice; he uses his natural voice. He doesn't hide his accent. Like all the songs are about like real things that we've probably all experienced, except for like If You Were There, Beware, which is about like the paparazzi, which we haven't experienced yet, boys.
I
And, but yeah, like this album still, I would argue that Arctic Monkeys are probably the most important UK rock band of our lifetimes. They've definitely influenced a lot of bands since then.
What about the
And,
Beatles
I was
too?
looking-
The sequel to the Beatles.
The Beatles 2.
Beatles too.
The Beatles sequel.
Oh,
Um, But
The
they're
Dragonfly.
still the 282nd most listened to band in the world on Spotify monthly. So that's pretty fucking high.
Wait,
for
did
a
you say
modern rock band.
82nd?
282nd.
Oh, it's not as good, is it?
That's still good though. That's still pretty
That's
fucking good.
really fucking high. Let's be honest, like all the ones above that are like Rihanna and Chris Brown and
Yeah.
oh, that's awkward that I mentioned them both together. And
Oh god, yeah.
Are we just going to mention every single controversial topic this episode?
Yeah.
They're the ones that came to mind. But I bet you they are both above Arctic Monkeys. But yeah, like I mean, for a modern rock band, that's really really good. Like, there's not many big rock bands coming out like in our lifetime, you know.
I can only think of a couple: Foo Fighters, Green Day.
Yeah,
Like they're probably the
newer
two
ones
bigger
like
ones.
Royal Blood and stuff. But yeah, like
I mean, there's probably some we don't
and
know.
also-
Like, is Kasabian rock? Is that a rock band?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're pretty big.
Are
I
they that
think.
big?
Guess
I, really
mean,
like
they
Kasabian.
headlined
I didn't
Reading.
realize
I think
they were
they're
that
big
popular.
still.
I've never
I don't
listened to
think
them
Kasabian
personally. I
really
just
blew up outside.
I don't think they're anywhere near as big as Arctic Monkeys.
okay.
Yeah, Arctic
Yeah.
Monkeys.
I'm gonna
Yeah, nothing-
I'm gonna do Kasabian at some point on the podcast because I fucking love Kasabian.
Oh, I didn't know.
I was
that.
looking at Arctic Monkeys
fucking
on
normie.
Spotify. You know,
Shut
you
up.
can
Sorry.
see like places they're most listened to.
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
see
mean,
them
no,
most
I
listened
don't know
to.
why I said that.
Mo-
Yeah.
There's of all the listeners monthly on Spotify, London is second with 263,900.
Is it the Arctic?
No,
Is it the Antarctic?
shut up. It's Mexico City. Mexico City has 387,000
Where is
listeners.
Mexico City?
Wow.
Where is Mexico?
Venezuela.
City? Where's Venezuela? What continent?
Mexico City in
Africa.
Mexico
It's in
in
Africa.
South America.
Actually, the reason why I asked that is because that you have random names everywhere, like fucking Australia has South Wales, but
Oh, I thought you were taking the piss.
Yeah, so
no,
did
no,
I.
my geography's awful, man. I'm retarded. Like,
That's
ignore
it.
me. But the reason why I say that is
Mexico
because
City-
South America,
It is, yeah.
the rock scene, the rock and metal scene in South America is just fucking mental. Like,
I
if
love
you
it
see
there.
every single live show, like a live album DVD thing, is filmed in South America because they're just the most crazy for the genre. So that doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me because of that reason.
Yeah,
Right.
number 1 is Mexico. Number 3 is Brazil. Number 4 is Chile.
Where's
So-
Brazil?
Brazil
South
is number
America.
3.
America.
Yeah, where is Brazil?
South America.
I knew that was just... Thing is, there could
It's
be
in
a
Mexico.
Mexico City in fucking Australia. Like, just
All right,
There's some
Daniel
stupid
Hedgecombe.
names.
Fucking...
fucking...
Is China in Japan?
To be fair, I thought that Belgium was in Germany once, so... Did I tell you guys that?
Anyway, this
well be.
album's a 9.5 out of 10. It's nearly a 10 out of 10. There's,
Oh, you had to be a 0.5 more than me, Carl.
there's,
I
I was
wouldn't
wanting,
give it
I wanted
that.
to give it a 10. Fuck.
Me neither.
And then I realised that there's 2 weak songs which are I don't really like If You Were There Beware.
Oh, great, fuck you, you're wrong.
There you go.
Bad
2
thing.
weak songs is only worth a 0.5 drop.
Yeah, because it's like, honestly, like the impact that this album has had and how good it is, like for everything it does, and how influential it is, and how nostalgia ridden I am for this album, and how it still conveys a point in our lives that we've all been through really well.
No,
It's,
sounds like bullshit to me, man.
it's a
Yeah,
good album.
yeah.
Nah,
A likely
nah, I think you're
story.
right.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll do what I like, bruv.
I feel like I quickly need to say to the audience, at Hellfest, I had this Belgian guy come up to me, Claire and Julia, and we just started chatting. We found out he was from Belgium. And like I was like even more stupid than I am now back when I was a teenager. And I was this close to being like, so what's it like living in Germany? Because I thought Belgium was a city in Germany. Luckily I said it to Claire and
shit.
Julia when he walked away. I was like, man, I can't believe we met a German. And they were like, what? And the rest is history.
You were legally able to vote when you did that.
I mean,
Playing topics.
yeah, I probably shouldn't vote. You know,
Jesus.
come on, guys, just because I admit my faults.
I mean,
Thank
we've all been
All right.
there, don't you worry.
So, I once
I need
thought the
a,
capital of Poland was Reykjavik. What can you do? Tell us
Okay,
about
so
it.
Sarah Vaughan, she
Is
was
autistic.
one of the all-time greats of jazz. She's artistic. Her voice is really dynamic. She's got a crazy vocal range. Really nice and chill stuff. This album is coming up on 70 years old and still sounds pretty damn good, if you ask me. She opened for Ella Fitzgerald back in '42, who is known as the Queen of Jazz, so she definitely had her chops from the very beginning. And she's known as the nickname Sassy. And
The divine
Frank
one.
Yeah, the
right?
divine one. Yeah.
Mm.
Frank Sinatra said himself, "Sassy is so good now that when I listen to her, I want to slash my wrists with a dull razor." So it's pretty high praise from
Same.
Frank Sinatra.
What? How is that a compliment?
He says he's so jealous.
Yeah. Like what Eric Clapton said about Jimi Hendrix.
That just sounded like he was saying, it sounds like so good, I want to kill myself. Slowly
Yeah.
kill myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well,
he'll never be that good. Like he's. Yeah, she's too good.
Oh, you mean,
Yeah.
right, okay.
He wants to kill himself because she's so much better than him.
She's so much better than him. Well, that is true, yeah, that is true.
Also, she's very good at piano. I got into her because I just went through a bit of a phase of listening to all the old school jazz musicians, and this album in particular, and the album The Divine One, really stuck out to me. It's considered one of the classics of jazz, so yeah. Go on, boys. What do you think of it, Greg?
Oh,
Ooh. Well, I was bored out my fucking mind throughout this album. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not averse to jazz. Like I like modern jazz, and I even like some contemporary jazz of this period. Like I've listened to Fats Waller. I like Django Reinhardt.
Yeah.
I like. I haven't listened to much of them, but I like that one song by Frankie Lamine and the Teenagers. The one that everybody knows.
Oh,
Why Do Fools Fall in
the
Love?
song about the fat Sasquatch and Joe's boys, right?
No.
I beg your pardon.
I just made that
No,
up.
it's
I was
called
going to
Why.
say it sounds plausible.
No, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? It's a really good song.
Oh yeah, that was.
I really didn't get much from this album. I'm not gonna lie. It's really hard to critique because it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm sure it was amazing in 1952. That was 70 years ago.
It was amazing when no other music existed.
Yeah, like
Back when people were playing xylophones on rib cages and stuff.
When people were just banging two sticks together.
just after like people got done killing like millions of people for no reason in mainland Europe, it was like, okay, now we're gonna do this, and I'm like, yeah. I still feel like we've come a long way since then.
So you liked it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great. No, she had a lovely voice, except for when she was doing low notes.
Oh, you what? What the fuck?
Yeah, I
I
agree.
thought
She
those
sounded
were-
like she was having a stroke.
No, she was real raspy in the low notes.
Right.
Nina Simone did it better.
No one did it better. No one should do that.
And I really hated the instrumentation. That's all I've got to say. Next, Ben.
Oh crap. I mean, what is there to say? Okay, so thing is, like Greg, I really, really am not averse to the music of that era. I loved like the Mills Brothers. I loved Louis Armstrong. I really loved the Ink Spots, which all three of those that I just literally listed, like Kyle mentioned at the beginning, worked with Ella Fitzgerald, who, let's be honest, she at the time and probably still now is the queen of blues and jazz.
Yeah.
I've actually never
And
listened.
when I was listening to, you would have heard an Ella Fitzgerald
Probably.
song for sure. But when I was listening to this the whole time, I was literally thinking this is a more boring, dull version of Ella Fitzgerald, and she sounds exactly the same. Like the vocalizations were almost identical. It was actually bizarre. I was like I could literally listen to this back to back with Dream a Little Dream of Me, and I wouldn't be able to distinguish the two singers. That's not to say that she was a bad singer. Like, Sarah Vaughan had some amazing, like, she was a good singer, obviously. She's quite well renowned, and obviously, I mean, if Frank Sinatra likes, although was not really that good of a singer, controversial opinion, but Frank Sinatra
Whoa.
kind of sucked.
Bruh.
Mate, his vocal range was like here when there's like this much, like he has nothing. But anyway,
But he was fit.
Sarah Vaughan, he was fit.
So was she, by the way.
The thing is with this album, apart from like obviously she did sing well, it's just that none of it was memorable to me at all. Like it was something that I would have heard in like I could not literally name you any of the songs, and the only reason I can now is because I'm looking at them on my computer. I think I remember listening to last song, It's Crazy, and one being like, oh, this is pleasant, and two being like, I'm glad this is over.
Yeah, it's pleasantly over.
I'm so glad. But that's the thing, it wasn't a bad experience in the way that I hated it. It was a bad experience that I have listened to this genre before, done so much better and so much more memorably. This for me, as harsh as it sounds, constituted to elevator music. And that's basically it. Like I can't remember any of it now. Like I'd have to play the album again to remember anything from this
Elevator
album.
music. Ooh. That's like worse than copyright-free music.
Like I'd hear this in an elevator, and I'd probably maybe tap my foot a little bit, and that would be the extent of it.
Give him
Do you
the
think,
old
Zach?
music.
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
Your turn.
Like Ben and Greg, I can't remember what you said. Well, I'm well adversed with jazz music. I like the Cuphead soundtrack. So this is like it's a complete breath of fresh air that I wish I never breathed in. Oh man! Okay.
Where's your face mask? Put your face mask
Yeah.
on.
Kyle, I'm calling
It was
you
the
out.
COVID
There's no way
record.
you like this. Shut up.
I do like it.
Nah,
It's
you're
a good
just
album.
fishing for hipster points, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm calling you out.
I'm not a bunch of reprobates here, my ADD-ridden bandmates. Like, I can't listen to a song that doesn't go.
Shut. This is coming from the guy who
Oh, no.
can't watch TV because he gets too bored. Shut up.
I actually,
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
comparison to make here, Carl, because you couldn't finish Molly Tuttle because it was boring.
And
So I would
Molly-
like to hear your explanation as to why this is better in any way.
This is
this song about a
really-
woman singing about men, by the way, and love,
Mm.
like Molly Tuttle.
Yeah,
Very, very cliche.
Yeah.
I feel like jazz
Where's
in
your
general,
explanation,
though,
Carl?
does love songs way better than like other songs. Like even the love songs are a little bit more like off the cuff, or they're a bit more like less sappy, you know. And as well as that, like I don't think music like this, like to me, this is get really baked, sit and chill out, watching the world go by while it rains, and you're just relaxing, enjoying life music.
That's an
This isn't
extremely
like-
specific scenario.
Yeah, and it's a really nice, like, you know, it's a relaxing sort of vibe, you know. I like to listen to this sort of stuff when I meditate. It's not like intently like, ooh, I like the chord change he did there. Though I'm sure there's a bunch of music jazz nerds who do like that.
Mm.
But to me, it's like I just really like this kind of music because you can just forget everything going on around you as you just unwind to this sort of music.
It's funny that you say that because one of my notes was that I found this album vaguely stressful. Because literally, like, her singing was great, and I agree with you completely in terms of her singing. But I said earlier, I hate the instrumentation. The drums and bass and whatever the fuck those wind instruments they were playing were so erratic. And I know it's jazz, so obviously you can't expect it to all be cohesive and structured and everything. But like sometimes it would just come out of nowhere and like shock me. I was trying to sit there and have a relaxed experience, but I didn't get that watching the world go by vibe from it, because every now and again it would just come in with the like they handed the flute to a child and they fucking played a wacky
flute
solo
player
bit for 10 seconds.
Terrible on this album. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's what one of the common reviews I saw was this album. Like the flute player really lets it down.
Yeah, the flute. I think it might not be in the flute, but it really reminded me of like Bagpuss or the Herbs or something like some stop motion cartoon from like that era. Yeah, which to its credit, it made me nice and nostalgic to that, because I loved the Herbs when I was a kid. But yeah, I've got a note here that just says maybe I'm like ADHD riddled autistic man, but this is fucking shit and boring. That's what I was laughing at earlier.
News.
Huh?
Punk band doesn't like jazz.
Oh, the thing is though, I like fast jazz. I like it when they go like oh, boom 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 boom, and then it's just got like faster shit. I'm not like looking for thrash metal here. I'm looking for some kind of variety. This album was so fucking stagnant. It was like a pond.
Let's hope Benny's had his hand up for a while.
And as well, I feel like don't conflate the fact that because we like metal, rock, and punk, because I'm a huge jazz and blues fan. Like I listen to it like as much as I probably listen to rock, and compared to a lot of albums that I've listened to from that era, this one is bad compared to that. I'm not trying to compare it to like Arctic Monkeys that we just listened to. It's within the genre that it's sitting in and the music that I've listened to before. It's still terrible because it really, really falls flat. And it's so for at the time, a lot of the music from like the 40s, 50s, and maybe even the early 60s, they kind of there was a really, really common thing where like one person would kind of like define a genre, whether it be, again, Ella Fitzgerald, or whether it was Chuck Berry or anything like that. And then people would basically do exactly the same thing with maybe a tiny, tiny difference. Hence why like Elvis like eventually got big, because he basically just copied off Chuck Berry, but then made his own thing with it, but did it better. I feel like this is what Sarah Vaughan did with Ella Fitzgerald. She kind of the singing exactly the same. I think the only thing that I could like the scat as well. Don't get me started on the scat.
Was it poo?
Oh yeah, it was shit. No. To be fair, like I mean, it's
very good.
It's a common thing with. I mean, I don't even like it when Ella Fitzgerald does, the whole sweep up beep scatty boop boop. Like when I listen to it, I'm just like,
it's only good when Scatman John does it. Can we agree?
Oh,
I don't like it at all. I think scatting is
Scatman
like
John fucking nails it. Come on.
No, Weapon
Dude,
is
maybe it's
she's in the booth doing her singing, and then suddenly she has like some cocaine fueled fucking seizure, and then they're like, "Fuck it, keep it in. We've run out of money here."
Back when they recorded on like one roll of tape for the whole session,
they're
they
like,
were like, "Oh,
"Shit,
it's happening."
that's the only tape we had." Fuck it, keep it in.
oh mate.
I've got fond memories of going to Josh Garraway's house and his mum giving singing lessons, and she'd just be in the upstairs room like, and some poor kid who came there for lessons like,
Well, that explains it all. Oh dear. Is anyone?
It's the worst.
Okay, let's not shit on it for a while. Let's.
I'm sorry, I haven't got many
you can shit on it
positives.
if you want. Like,
No.
No, to be fair, like for the time, I'm sure it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I tell you what though, it gave me like flashbacks of like noir films and stuff. And that's what I liked about it, as well as like reminding me of like the Herbs and like Bagpuss and shit. I just had like this image of like this black and white film where their lips are still red for some reason, like the women's lips, their lipstick's coming through, but everything else is black and white. Like you walk into the bar and the guy's just like, "Tough day." And he's like, "Yeah, you could say that." And you got like, yeah, she's smoking a cigarette. She's like, "Men are pigs." And she like glances over at fucking Mrs. Vaughan. I can't remember. She's like
Sarah.
doing her little like fucking stroke singing, and she's like, she's pretty good. She's gonna go far. And the guy's like, "Yeah, man, yeah, she's gonna go far."
Just a mournful sax solo in the background. Or something.
I've got a positive to say actually. So it's apart from obviously the music, the singer's voice being lovely, and I did because I like I did like some of the instrumentation. Obviously, when there was like a bit of trumpet, almost sounded like Louis Armstrong was going to come in and be like, but no, he doesn't arrive. But the trumpet still sounds nice.
That might have improved it. That might have improved it. I would have welcomed a bit of that.
I think she has an album.
Well,
Armstrong actually, maybe.
It would make sense.
Didn't she
I mean,
work
they
with
did so many
Dizzy
collabs.
Gillespie at some point? I'd like to listen to that.
Yeah, there's a few collaborative albums she did. I mean, she's got like fucking like 50 albums or something. Like,
I was actually
mad.
I was going to ask you how you how did you choose this album?
I already liked the Divine one because it's got a few. You Stepped Out of a Dream and stuff on it, like a few really nice songs on there. I can't actually remember how I found specifically those songs. Then this album, I remember I wasn't going to listen to all fucking 50 albums, so I just googled most influential or like best Sarah Vaughan album, and this was the one that came up. I haven't listened to all of her stuff. I don't think I ever will because it's a lot. But
yeah, I remember scrolling before. Yeah.
The other day I was
you
like,
didn't know that. You just scrolled down Wikipedia and you went, which one? That one.
That one.
I literally went on an article like, this is her best album. So, but it's the same as like, you guys have ever listened to Buckethead? I really like Buckethead, but he's got like one good song on every other album. Jesus Christ!
What was that?
He's got one good song on every other album.
I dropped my keyboard.
And you don't want to dig through all of that shit to find the diamonds in the rough, do you? Really? Like...
Yeah. No, fair enough.
True.
So Bucket. I don't know much about Bucket, but I feel like, does he eventually, after say writing about 10 albums, release the best of those 10 albums?
Nope.
No.
Well, he
no,
should
he
do
just
that. 'Cause
releases
there's a lot of money in there.
million albums.
Yeah, he should. He should.
He's
but
doing alright.
he just released like fucking 12 albums a year and just never stops. Never goes outside. Quarantine came around. He's like, finally, an excuse to never go outside again.
That's what Sarah Vaughan did, right? Right? Right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, back in the old Hong Kong flu of 1978.
Hong Kong flu here.
The Kung
I don't know
Flu.
if that was when the Hong Kong flu happened. Yeah, that was a real thing. I don't know if that's when it happened though.
Oh dear. Does anyone else have anything else to add?
I've more
It's
or
a
less said
pretty
my
album.
piece.
You guys are wrong. Fuck you.
It's 3 against 1, man. It's like the ball pick from Gav, you know. It's a democracy in this podcast.
Yeah,
We're gonna need that picture of
it's
Gav's
been
testicles.
scientifically
Yeah.
you're statistically wrong.
I'm statistically wrong.
Hey. Oh dear. I don't know. Should we?
Should we do ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it from me. Who's gonna go first?
I'll go first because it's
go on,
my
Kyle.
album.
Yeah. Start off at the
I mean,
top of the
it's-
roller coaster.
Yeah. It's all down from here, boys. I think it's like a solid 7 for me. It's a really,
Oh, I
really nice album.
Wouldn't give it that.
It's one of my fuck off. It's one of my go-tos to just whack on and unwind to. I listen to it when I'm meditating quite a bit, alongside some other jazz classics. I was going to recommend. It was between this and David Brubeck's the album with Take 5 on it. I can't remember what it's called now.
That would have been much better.
Yeah, you fucking bitch.
I've never listened to the album. I don't know.
It's really good.
It's
Definitely give
it's
it
the
a
prequel to Take That.
Don't even compare them, you bitch. No, but that's instrumental, so maybe it would have annoyed you even more, because it seems to be that the one that you enjoy was a voice. So,
Bruh, don't pick stuff just because we all have ADHD. Like,
yeah,
I now have this in my plethora. I know who Sarah Vaughan is now. I can be like all articulate when people bring up jazz. It's gonna be.
It's true.
Yeah.
You've enriched our life for sure.
Yeah.
When I picked
For
this
the
up,
worst,
Zach's gonna hate this album.
I think you said that actually on it. Yeah.
Did you?
I think I said it in Cornwall. Zach's gonna fucking hate this album.
Yeah.
You didn't say that to me.
I thought you said it on the last episode.
I don't want to taint your opinion of it. Time
No,
out.
and
Listen to Time
it's
Out.
probably best you didn't, and to be honest, like the problem with me is I went into this album with like the Cuphead soundtrack in mind, because that's my only gateway to jazz. So I thought it was going to be all like, yeah, woo, and you just, I've obviously with my, actually no, I'm going to say this to my rating. Sorry, wait, you've done your rating.
Yeah, I did. My rank 7. Go for it.
Should I keep going? All right. Well, I've watched a lot of like really old films because of like my media stuff, and a lot of like the music in there with like the black people singing and everything. It's like it's so cool. I fucking love it, especially when they had like tap dance and stuff. It's amazing. So I was going into this expecting something like that. That's where I fell short. It's kind of like when I went into Doggerel expecting, I know they're not Irish, but I was expecting Dropkick Murphys or something, you know? So, it was my own fault, kind of. I don't know. I kind of see jazz as like a sort of, it's kind of, I've got it in my notes, because I was going to like say this later, but I'm going to say it now. Jazz is kind of like YouTube, where from the outside, you're like, that's piss easy. Anyone could do it. Fucking... You get, YouTubers, they just record 30 minutes, upload it, bish bash bosh. Next day, make loads of money. Yeah. Same thing with jazz. There's so many outsiders who listen to it and they're just like, piss easy. There's no talent there. And I'm 100%. There's loads of talent there, but it's just not for me. I also wrote, my face when I was listening to this was the same face Sarah Vaughan was making on her album cover.
Which just looks really unhappy.
Just like,
I need to look at it now. You're gonna have to edit that in.
She looks really bored.
Oh yeah, she's just like.
And I also thought, not to shit on it even more, but one last shit sesh. I thought this album really like made me think, fuck, maybe CHUB Cast wasn't a good idea. Shit. I was like, literally like, fucking hell, man.
Think about how I felt when the second episode we had to listen to that Molly Tuttle one. I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Hey, that was way better than the man. Come on.
It was not. It was absolutely
not. Molly Tuttle was... I want to see them fight in a Thunderdome. Sarah Vaughan versus Molly Tuttle.
Yeah.
Choose your weapon.
Yeah, they're both
fight to the death.
They're both pretty bad, I'm not going to lie.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Sarah Vaughan's been dead since '89, and I still think she's more lively than fucking Molly Tuttle.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Fuck it.
Whoa.
Damn.
Bruh.
Damn.
Oh, you fucking went there. Is that our first one?
Yeah,
that's
I literally found 0. Apart from it reminding me of...
That is spicy.
Apart from it reminding me of the Herbs and Bagpuss, which, to be fair, are kind of boring now anyway as well. I just found 0 enjoyment out of this. I actually made it to the end, though.
Were you listening to it whilst you were washing up?
No, I was listening to it while I was having dinner.
That's your fucking mistake, Zach. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah, I
what
should
the
have
hell?
waited for a
Right,
rainy day, and I should have smoked a spliff and fucking looked out the window and whatever else you said.
Yeah. Clearly, you're most in your zen when you're washing up.
Oh,
We've just
yeah.
God damn it, man.
You're the problem,
Anyway,
not the album.
Ben.
Oh man, I mean, if an album needs those kind of prerequisites, maybe it's just not a good album.
I wasn't
No.
saying that's the only scenario. I was painting a picture. I was
Actually,
being evocative.
Before Ben says anything, there's one actual like bit of main criticism I have is it's all low. The whole album is low. There's no fast songs. There's not even like one fast song or pop dancey like that was my main issue, is that it was just down here the whole time. It started and then it ended, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Which, again, rainy day joint, fair enough, but yeah. Anyway, Ben.
One of these things that's making me realise is, sorry to just quickly interject, but
Yeah, go
maybe
for it.
maybe jazz needs like metal where there's a million different subgenres, because at the moment it's just, as far as I know, it's just smooth jazz and fusion. Whereas like, as you say, like this is completely different to like proper like ragtime, like, but it's still just called
actually,
jazz.
That's
and,
a
like,
really good point. Yeah.
yeah.
There are so many different artists under the umbrella of jazz.
And they're all like, yeah, as you say, like they're all really different vibes. Like this is like proper film noir, downer sort of thinking about life and women and shit. And then like you can listen to some other jazz, and it's like people swinging women around on their heads, like fucking throwing people
That's what I
across
was
dance
expecting.
floors.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it makes a complete sense.
Yeah.
You don't go like, hey, listen to Ailstorm, it's metal. You say it's
Yeah.
folk metal, folky pirate metal, you know? You give them a bit of an expectation. Yeah.
Maybe there is, we just don't know.
Maybe we're just
Don't
not
know
into
it.
jazz enough to know. But and
Someone-
like I've looked around, it doesn't seem to be that many like
Someone
distinctions.
with their fedoras gonna come in and she'll be like, you didn't know this was scat, shweebop, doo-bop, jazz and a half?
The giga hipster
I'm
will
like,
come in
cool.
and push back his glasses and flip his fedora back at the same time.
Oh my god, scatcore.
Scatcore.
Maybe we should do metal, but it would just be me like,
Really horrible porn.
Oh my god.
I don't ever type scatcore into Pornhub.
Oh, let's
Oh
not do
god.
that.
Yum.
Okay,
Now,
So,
apparently there are 40
anyway.
subgenres of jazz. I was wrong.
okay.
Well, they need to popularize them because I haven't fucking heard of them.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
Okay. So, like Kyle was saying earlier, he was when he was trying to be evocative. I felt like Sarah Vaughan was probably also trying to and failing really, really hard. The only emotion I felt during this album was probably like, Greg said it really succinctly, where it was just like sort of like a dull anxiety. Where it's kind of like, I'm not only bored, I'm kind of anxious because I've heard this so many times, and it's not one of those things where like I had like, oh, you know, sort of like upbeat jazz, and I was going in thinking it was upbeat. I was going in expecting like, you know, songs to be like Paper Moon by Ella Fitzgerald, you know, really slow, really coast you by, lovely voice, lovely instrumentation, everything like that. It did. She had a lovely voice, had lovely instrumentation, but it was just so baseline. The compared to anything else in its genre that sounds exactly the same, it literally just fell completely flat, and I just like, it's like, this isn't a reflection on you, Carl. Obviously, it's nice that you like to listen to it, but like, I mean, if anyone wants to get into jazz or blues or anything like that, don't listen to this. Listen to like Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong's like collab album where they do like cheek to cheek and stuff like that. They have like a collab album that they made. I think it was like 1950 something. Like that's basically this, but like so much better. um, yeah, yeah, I've got to give this a 1, dude. It was really bad.
Hell yeah. One's out of the park.
Can we
Yeah,
score a
I'm
hat
really-
trick?
I'm
Can we score a hat trick?
Sorry, dude. It was.
I didn't pick this like thinking, oh, I'll be sad if they don't like it. I don't
Okay,
care.
Yeah, it's not a perfect
Good. In that
personal
case-
reflection on Go. But
I hate you now, Kyle.
Yeah.
yeah,
fuck
what
you.
the fuck? You're out of the band.
Yeah, we're gonna
Clearly, your roots are rotten.
get a another drummer who doesn't listen to fucking dry paints the song. Anyway, Greg.
Yeah, I guess it's my turn. Shit. I've basically said the only note that I had that I didn't say is that it sounded like Christmas music, which is just something I wanted to throw in there, purely just because of the time. I guess maybe that's just a modern thing of me to say.
Maybe.
That sounds like an insult in itself.
Well, the Christmas
Right,
music
one
I
day a
listen
year.
to is like Slade and shit.
One day a
so
year.
I
Yeah.
fucking hate Christmas music.
I mostly listen to like Slade and like all the Christmassy songs from like the 70s and 80s. So
They all suck.
Yeah. they do.
damn, mate.
So I guess,
We should
yeah, I
do a
guess that
Christmas
was-
podcast around Christmas.
No. No.
Yes! Oh my god, yes, we definitely should. That would be
Oh,
amazing.
we do have a heavy metal
no,
Christmas by
Christmas
Judas
Eve.
Priest or something.
We all got to suggest a Christmas album. Let's go.
Yeah, guys, I'm leaving the band.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait.
Anyway, I've basically said all I thought. She did have a good voice, and I chose. There were 2 songs that I liked, and they were "You're Not the Kind" and "It's Crazy." So on the basis that it was not the worst album I've ever heard in my life, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 10.
That's slightly better.
I wouldn't give it that,
I
Greg.
wouldn't give it that.
Greg, if, just as an aside, Greg, if you didn't just read those 2 song titles off of your computer, would you have remembered them?
Not a chance. But I remember writing them down, and they were all right.
We have another comment and another review from our good friend Tim B. And we're actually going to call this section the Tim of the Week because he has been weekly giving us reviews and he's amazing. So from now on, whoever comments, if we ever get another comment and someone reviewing, they'll be the Tim of the Week.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff. So, without further ado, Arctic Monkeys' favorite worst nightmare. Let me channel my inner Tim. I was getting into this band over lockdown. I know how incredibly late to the party I am. Obviously, I had heard several tracks before, as they are basically impossible to avoid. They kept me sane over lockdown, having produced so many quality songs, with many present on this album. I hadn't listened to the full album in order up until this review. I was expecting there to be a couple of tracks that aren't great, that got glossed over due to the strength of the others. I was surprised that this was not the case, so it makes the album quite special, which I think a lot of us pretty much said. It has an energy and a presence all the way through. I think in part it's due to the ability to really sell the imagery and storytelling. Not many bands can do that as well as they do. It has so many different parts to like and could be played almost anywhere at any time and get a good reception. Loved the album. 9 out of 10. Well, there you go. It's pretty much a resounding...
I wouldn't give it that.
I wouldn't give it
Not
that.
Yeah, I wouldn't rate that.
I wouldn't give it that.
I know we did, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I feel
like
bad
the
for giving it a
paintings
5 now.
All right, so
You
yeah,
Philistine.
pretty much
Did you give it a 5?
echoed a lot of the
Yeah.
stuff we said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim seems to have like very similar opinions to us when it comes to like things. Obviously, it differs from time to time, but yeah, I completely agree with
Speaking of something that did differ, he
that.
reviewed the
I'm
Sarah
not
Vaughan
done.
album.
I'm not done. I was about to say that. Isn't it fascinating that now there's loads of people that like have just heard the Arctic Monkeys as background, but like they've only recently gotten into them. Am I?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's true, yeah.
They're one of those bands that you feel like you don't have to investigate that thoroughly because everybody already fucking knows them, and you're like, it's probably all the same. And then you actually spend some time on them, and you're like, oh,
Yeah. What
No,
year
they're
did they
really
form?
good.
What year did they form?
2000.
Their first album's like 2006 or something. Was their
Yeah.
first?
Yeah, their first album was 2006, so maybe a bit before that, like
Okay.
2003
So I know
or 4.
if you're going by like a trend with bands, I know a lot of bands have like a little bit of a resurgence around like the 20-year mark of their career. I don't know why. That just seems to happen. Maybe they have like some revitalized spirit or something, or who knows.
We've got that to look forward to. Only 19 more years, guys.
Yeah, can't wait for our first spike. Sorry, Ben. I'm not sorry.
Oh yes. So Sarah Vaughan, the Sarah Vaughan album that was Sarah Vaughan. So Tim said, listening to the album on a quiet afternoon after a busy weekend was probably the best timing wise that could be wished for. I'm not an avid listener.
You better have had it.
You better have been
smoking weed. I'm not an avid listener of jazz singers, as such many sound pretty similar to my ears. It was laid back, well executed, and with enough difference throughout to keep it interesting in a background sort of vibe way. Ooh, okay. The volumes are a little iffy, but given when it was recorded, can hardly be blamed on the album. Just a note for anyone looking to listen to this, I wasn't a big fan of the scat singing. I can't get over thinking it's a little stupid, but that's a personal preference.
No, it's not.
The album with good songs without having any real standouts, 6 out of 10.
I wouldn't give it that. Just had to say it.
So,
well, it looks like Tim doesn't have ADHD. It's just us that have ADHD, apparently, boys.
You see
Tim and
what
Kyle.
it is, boys? Me and Tim are both autistic artists, so we really vibe with Sarah Vaughan.
Hey, man. I'm on that spectrum and I hated it.
Yeah, but you gave it a 2.5, man. So
Can't claim that.
me and Ben gave it a 1, so we're like at the bottom of the autistic scale.
Too normal, bro.
Gosh darn.
No, we completely vibed with the not a big fan of scat singing. Even I'm quite a big fan of like blues and jazz, and I still think that shit's done, dude.
Except when Scatman John does it, he's amazing.
Oh, that's even. I'd say that's even worse because it made it mainstream, so people do it more.
You've only heard that one song. He actually has other bangers that nobody's heard. It's really...
He was just called John before he made that song, though.
You know what? I totally would do Scatman John on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure his album's like 90 minutes long, and I can't be fucked.
Jesus Christ.
Christ, that's like a movie.
Scatman's World.
Soundtrack.
It's only 48 minutes long. Welcome to Scatland.
Fucking
oh, we've definitely had longer albums.
Incoming. You just watch this space.
Incoming 1 hour.
So, I heard bassists aren't that hard to come by. See ya, guys.
Jesus.
Yeah, Tim, I pretty much agree with you in most of that, except that you scored Sarah Vaughan too high.
Yeah, you're too generous, Tim. I want to hear your honest opinion when I see you next.
Yeah. You gotta speak to us and be like, it was terrible.
Yeah, poser.
Poser.
He agreed with me, so he's right.
I'd say either way, no matter what his reviews or anything or what he said on it. Thank you so much for commenting like you always do in the Tim section. Really appreciate your reviews, and obviously we appreciate anyone that joins in on the comments as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Especially that guy who asked if we were his friends. We're still his friends.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here and say, if you want to write your review, or should we say this after? Yeah, fuck it, I'll say it now because I started. If you want to write your review on the albums that we're about to say, send them to chubtheband@gmail.com, or write them in the comments section on our YouTube channel, or use the hashtag CHUBView, and keep them short, sweet, give them a rating, and we'll read them out next episode.
Is anybody checking that hashtag?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. Has anybody checked that? We could have got their review.
Oh no, I've checked the email because I get notified for all of the emails I'm connected to. I have not been checking ChubView. Come to think of it,
we should read out all the penis enlargement spam emails that we get and pretend that they're reviews.
Yeah.
We even have that, to be honest.
Nigerian Prince says.
Just reply to them "Yo, what did you think of Arctic Monkeys?"
Rubber Neck Boy 63 said it made me feel really
Rubber
good.
Neck Boy. Oh, fuck, man. So, shall we do the albums for next week?
Yeah.
Greg, you go first.
I will go first. So, I'm going to recommend an album that I discovered 1.5 weeks ago, and I've been completely obsessed with it since then. It is a Australian prog rock band, and they're fucking incredible. And if you don't like them, you're wrong. And that's all I'm going to tell you about them. They are called Closure in Moscow, and the album is Pink Lemonade.
Ooh.
Nice.
I've literally every time I've been on Spotify, it's all you're listening to. I was going to ask you about them actually.
I've been obsessed with this band for the last week and a half. They are so good. They also have an amazing other album. This is their second album. Their first album is incredible, but I couldn't recommend both. So you should also listen to that album. It's called First Temple. But yeah, I'm doing Pink Lemonade for the podcast.
Cool.
Nice.
Right. Well, I'm going to go in a similar vein. When you listen to prog, you really need to listen to the intricacies of the timing and the musicianship and everything. So I want you all to go into the same mindset as of this album. The album is called Time 2, as in Roman numerals, Time 2, Party. So it's the sequel to Time. And the band is called Rum Ahoy. They are pirate metal. And I want you to go into this expecting Opeth. And I have to say, I'm going to give this point. If you guys don't laugh at Treasure Gun, there's something wrong with you, because this song makes me laugh out loud. It's so good. Yeah, Rum Ahoy, Time 2 Party. The sequel to Time.
I like it already.
Time 2 Party.
Yeah.
I just got that. It's so bad.
Time 2 in Roman numerals, Party. It's amazing.
Just setting that tone already.
Yeah, I want you to go in expecting Pink Floyd and Opeth. Come on, man. Well, we've also got a new smaller segment that we're going to slip in between the two album reviews we do. We're going to the people that don't say albums, so in this case it's Kyle and Ben, are going to say singles. And we're going to have a little 5 to 10 minute segment in between the two album reviews where we just discuss the singles, because there's so many albums out there that are shit, but they have one good song on it, and you're just like, fuck, I really want these guys to listen to this song, but the album sucks. So
many.
Yeah. There's so many filler albums for that one single that they play live. Yeah. So, Ben, what's yours?
So mine is a Australian metal band. So keeping on the theme of Australian, they're a little
Let's
bit.
go.
They're a little bit. They've got a mixture of singing and a mixture of screaming. And one of my friends, Rebecca, recently recommended me to them, and I've been listening to their album a lot. But this is the best song and probably their main single off of it. So they're called "Make Them Suffer," and the single is called
Nice.
"Bones."
Bones.
Oh, you showed me this the other day. Cheating.
Bones. Cheater. Sorry, yeah, but it's "Bones" by Make Them Suffer.
Cool. Nice. Kyle, what about you?
It's a band I've been wanting you guys to get into for ages because they're fucking sick and nobody came and saw them with me. They're a Ukrainian band with a very angry lady as their front singer. It's Ginger.
Oh, no,
I would
Oh, yeah.
recommend Ginger, but again, like they've got like loads of really good songs, but they're spread across like 5 albums already, and they've got a fair few filler songs. So the song I'm picking is "Teacher Teacher."
Claire really likes Ginger, and I've heard a lot of Ginger because of Claire, so...
They're really
Yeah.
fucking good, dude. That's it.
What's that
Let's
one
go.
song that they have? They do like a fucking gypsy rag, and it's so out of character. And I listened to it, and it was amazing.
At the end of "Who's Gonna Be the One," there's something like that.
Oh,
They've
I
got a
can't-
couple songs where they've got like random little.
Beggars Dance. It was Beggars
breakdowns.
Dance.
Oh, they've got that. They've got that at the end of
Great
"Who's
band.
Gonna Be the One." They've got "Judgment and Punishment" has a reggae break in it as well. Really
Bloody
random.
So that...
Yeah, watch the music video for "Teacher Teacher" as well.
So it's Teacher
Hell
Teacher
yeah.
by Ginger, yeah?
Oh,
Cool.
oh my!
Yeah, I might actually just listen to the music video for that then. If there is... Ben, is there a music video for your song as well? Or...
There's a music video to "Bones," so
Yeah.
just watch it on YouTube and listen to it.
Well, in this
Because
case, I'll just do
There's
that.
actually a whole. There's actually a whole documentary for my album, but you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Prog rock.
Hooray! I think... yeah. I'm not going to say any fun facts to episode next time, actually, but yeah. Thank you. Who's going to do the outro? We planned this. Greg, is it you?
I did the intro, so I guess I might as well.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the albums. I hope you also enjoy next week's albums. And while you're enjoying them, you might as well write a fucking review in the YouTube comments. Why not, you lazy shit? Just fucking do it. Just do it. We'll read it out on the podcast. It'd be great. You'd be part of the show. You'd be doing us a favor. Just fucking do it.
Just
Tim,
do
I know you
it.
can do it anyway, but everyone else as well.
Do
Like
it
Tim.
twice, Tim.
Yeah.
Review them twice.
Write it. Start a second YouTube account, do a sock account, just
Yeah.
make another one under a different name. Have the opposite opinion. Who cares? While you're at it, while Tim's doing that, everybody else, like, comment, share, subscribe, dick pics to chubtheband at gmail.com.
Please, I get
Let's
I get
fucking go.
notifications on my phone. I'm just gonna be like, oh, if it's only
Gonna
if
be on
it's a
the
big
train.
one. I only care if these dick pics are chubs. Otherwise, I don't care.
No flaccid, please.
Yeah,
We'll use a
chubs only.
collage of them for our album art.
And I'm not talking about an erection here. I'm talking about a bit chub, like
Yeah,
you're still
semi.
floppy, but it's a bit impressive. That kind of thing.
You could par it
That's what
off
we're
as
looking
flaccid to a girl to like impress them, but basically you're almost half there anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You're a shower, not a grower. Like me.
That's what we want.
I mean, what? Anyway,
Oh,
Most
God's sake.
importantly, have a good time. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay
Right.
hydrated. Change the world. Do all the good things. None of the bad things. And guys,
wait. I just want to reiterate. I'm actually
Say
a grower, not a shower. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, continue, Greg.
oh, how very disappointing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It is like that. Like and subscribe.